warning, baby. Didn't put any kind of notification. Becca kind of talked me into doing this. So, like always, not prepared, but just got prepared. So, waiting for some people to get in here. Let me pull up. Let me pull it up. Okay. I'm tired. Dang, boy, I'm tired. Sheesh. Whoa. Shut up. Okay. So, what is happening? We got a couple people in here. What's up? Clips. Random stuff. That's a classy name. Having a pretty good day. We went to church this morning, and then I've been working in the shop. Unfortunately, normally I don't work on Sundays, but we're getting ready for our 10-year anniversary, so it's go time. A lot of stuff left to do, but we're in really good shape. We got ahead of it early this year. We're probably going to go into this meetup the best we've ever been on preparedness. Still isn't great, but it could get better. But what held us up on Lonie's buggy, why it wasn't done a long time ago, like it got held up for about a month and a half, because we was waiting on KMAN to send the 1190 pulleys for it. So we couldn't mount the engine. This is grinder dust. Someone said, why is your mustache brown? It's grinder dust. I noticed it too. Not good for you. Anyways, we had to wait for the 1190 pulley on Lonie's buggy for so long because KMAN was just, they got a lot of stuff internally going on right now. Some growth things, and they didn't send us the pulley. We needed the pulley to get the engine mounted in line with the differential, and we need the engine mounted before we could build the roll cage to know how much space we have. So that put a hindrance on the build, and it sat outside for a while. And then once we finally got the parts, it was like, less than a month till the meetup. So that's why we're last minute. Not that anybody was asking, but yeah, for those that's coming in, the stash is brown from grinder dust. It's not that bad in person. It's just the lighting, I guess, makes it look so bad in here. Does the darkness bug you guys? Like, that's way better. That's what I'll do. This is what I'll do. I'll just double up my tabs here so I can read and you can have the light on me. How about that? Okay, I wish I could move the live stream thing. So, waiting on some more people to get in here. I think we got like 35 people. Normally have well over 100, so we'll give it a few more minutes. But yeah, we went to church this morning, then we got home and ate lunch and cooked lunch and ate it. And then I finally came out in the garage and I built a front bumper on Lonie's buggy. And the last thing I got to do is mount the winch in it. I got the plate designed in CAD. I just have to cut it out, weld it on, and pull the bumper and fully weld it. Of course, we're filming, and then I got my buddy Chris he's from Georgia coming up and spending the night tomorrow night, having a little sleepover. But he's a great fabricator, awesome welder and stuff. And during crunch time like these, I really need someone that can fabricate, that I don't have to like kind of walk them through what I need done. And Chris and Dave is normally my go-to people. And Dave's getting his stuff ready for the meetup because he's coming, and Chris is going to come help me knock out some stuff. His name's Chris Schmidt, not to get confused with Rotherby Welding Chris. Different people. But yeah, it's good times. I'm going to lower my chair. I feel like my nipples are right in the camera. So let me lock it too. Okay, that's nice. It's low. She low. Okay. So tomorrow we'll get the bumper done and get the winch mounted and everything. And I think we got to do a few more things on the Deuce that was supposed to go to Oregon. That guy's flying in to pick it up, and he's going to go to our meet maybe a day or so. So he's picking it up on Tuesday before the meetup. So we have we just got to install the gas tanks that I built videos ago. I never have, just basically pressure test them and put them on the frame. So while we wait for more people to come in, I'm going to answer some questions. So if you have any questions, put them. Please don't spam the comment section. Just put one. I'll answer them. I can't answer every one of them, obviously. But, so, okay. Someone said I got extra fiber for the salad in the stash. Yes, it is. would you be able to build an engine for me if I pay you? So after this meetup, we're crazy busy, of course, for the next couple of weeks, but my plans is to do a lot more dyno videos because our views are down on this buggy, which is crazy, but maybe people don't care about the buggies anymore. And I know people want to see stuff get finished. I get it. I got ADHD. Also, you have to, doing this as a job, you have to satisfy certain contracts with sponsors and stuff to make an income to make this feasible job. So you can't just always do one buggy till it's completely ended. And what happens, gets put on the back burner like other shops. I mean, we all do it. Then something else comes, then some, and it gets worse. So my goal is Lonnie's buggy after the meetup will get fully finished, like anything we see that it needs while riding it at the meetup, because that'll be its real testing grounds. Will get done, and it's getting painted right after the meetup. Like, we're not stopping on it. We're not putting it on the back burner. And then we're going to bring the supercharged buggy back in. I have to rewire it and mount a few things. Then it gets disassembled and goes to powder coat and gets put back together. Well, it's not getting powder coat. It's too big for my powder coater's booth. And we're getting it done. Then we're going back to the SEMA buggy, fully finishing it, getting it powder coated, and we'll do some rides on all these buggies. And then we're going to move on to some all new builds since we'll be caught up. And the other builds, like the Yamaha Yerf Dog, that's going to be for sale if anybody's interested. It's just like, I literally haven't touched it since the last video where we test drove it. It might need a little gearing. It needs some TLC here and there, and it needs painted. But it has wheelwood brakes on it. It has a ton of stuff. I won't let the bronze wheels go with it. I'm going to keep those. But that entire buggy, a running buggy, is for sale. When we get to that point, I'll start putting a price on it. I'm going to try to sell it as cheap as possible to get it to sell quickly. But we got to start selling some of our builds and put it back into new builds, because we got some awesome builds. We got a Honda Gold Wing outside. We're building a street legal golf cart I love that'll freaking fly. And then we got a GSXR 600 engine. We're doing a crazy build with it. And we're still going to do go-kart engines, though. My passion's in go-kart engines. So we're always going to do V-twins, big blocks, small blocks. But I know this one question went on forever. But we're always going to do go-karts engines, because I think all the other channels just wear out the crotch rocket engines and motorcycle engines, and I don't want to just follow the crowd or anything. I seriously like these go-kart engines. So we will be building engines for people. That whole rant was to say we're going to build engines for people in the near future. So we're going to sell like certain amount of builds on the website, so I won't get overran. And we're going to do dyno videos. You'll get a video done on your engine, stuff like that. And we got stage 4 for the Wildcat 223. We got stage 4 for the Wildcat 240. We have a bunch of builds sitting there. Lonie's billet head engine, if you guys remember the Tiltson 225 RS that we had on Lonie's bike, we put that billet MoFlow head on it. It made the most horsepower we made, and it was valve floating. We found out why it was valve floating. We put even crazier setup in it, and we're stroking that engine. So that's coming up right after the meetup. We're doing a lot of dyno videos, a lot of engine builds, and we're going to do a lot of mini bike content for the remainder of the year. And buggies. Buggies will be always sprinkled. It's my main passion, but obviously people don't want to see it as much as they used to. So you have to pivot your content, of course, to please people. So just be on the lookout. We will announce it. So are you going to make an extended swing arm for the KMAN B200 RSV? Yes, that's one thing when we get back I want to do. I want to make a jig off mine. And so basically you can buy the lift kit or you can buy the swing arm. The lift kit, you'd still need the front portion of the lift kit. So when I sell the swing arm, you'll be able to add the fork risers if you don't have them already. But I think with the extended swing arm, you don't use the rear lift kit. I can't remember. I need to look. But yes, we will be making those. Matt said hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button to make sure you're subscribed. Don't know why you're seeing this if you're not subscribed, but okay. Do they make a watertight belt box? No, you would have to build that yourself. We don't have any issues on mini bikes. Like, we will hit water. It dries instantly because the pulleys are hot and stuff. We don't have any issues with it. We rode in creeks and stuff. I mean, you don't want to submerge it, obviously, but splashing water on it doesn't really hurt them. On our buggies now, like Lonie's, for sure is going to get a belt cover, an aluminum belt cover when we get back. That's one thing I really want to do. His buggy's going to be sick. I'm a little jealous. It's Lonie's. Honestly, I put a lot of time in this thing, and it's really sick. But I'm so pumped for him to have it. and enjoy it. In the process of building a buggy to take to your meetup in the fall, also you need to get with your boys at EC and test out the 460. We have a 460 on the shelf. We're supposed to do a trike build for EC with it. It's going to be stock at first, then we're going to build a 460, but we're building a full custom trike frame with a big 26-inch tire on the front and stuff. So we do have it to test out, and we're going to do a full build series on it. And then I'm going to try to run big blocks on my dyno, finally get time to test that and stuff. Sorry. So that is coming up. If an ignition coil is not 100% aligned with the billet flywheel magnet, will that cause the engine not to start and backfire while trying to start? It shouldn't. I mean, if it's a little bit off, you can space it with washers behind it. If it's too far in, that is. But I wouldn't think. I mean, the magnet's still passing by. If it's crazy off-centered, then maybe. But no, you're probably out of time is most likely what the issue is. Maybe you did a governor removal or something and didn't put it back in time. Like maybe, you know, I don't know. That's what it sounds like. A lot of time when it's kicking like that, it's like you need to reset your valve lash or something, or it's out of time. Looking to build a stock appearing race motor. Any suggestions? I don't do a lot of stock appearance stuff, so I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming you're racing it. I don't know the rules and what people even run in those. We just build like whatever we want to build. We're never like following any rules, so I wouldn't know what to tell you, honestly. Like I can tell you how to build a stout mini bike engine or a go-kart engine, but I don't know how to follow those rules, you know, or what the rules is. Is a Briggs 208cc a good engine for a mini bike? I'm sure it is. They make a lot of parts for a Briggs just like they do Predator. They're just a more expensive engine to start with, is why we don't use them a lot. We're going to do a Briggs 208 build soon on the channel. I think Small Engine Warehouse may be stocking Briggs 208s and stuff because they still use those as certain race classes. But yeah, they're good. They're just as good as the Predator. So Danny's saying, hey, I put a 320 cam in a Predator 212 non-Hemi and the engine runs funny. I tore it apart and checked, but nothing I can see is wrong. I need help. Please Redbeard, help me. A 320 cam's pretty aggressive. Most likely, I wonder if your valve train is handling it good. That's what I would check. Look for coil bind, which means if you rotate the engine over, just watch the valve springs and see if the coils of the spring touch each other. I think it's like 30 or 40 thousandths you want gap when they're fully compressed, you know, with the lift. That's the first thing I would check out is your valve setup. And so start there, check that. May the 4th be with you. I used to be kind of a Star Wars, I wouldn't even say a Star Wars fan. We sit down and watch them all. I can't handle the original 3 movies. It's just awful acting. It's horrible in my opinion. Like the acting, the story's good, obviously. But we watched them all the way up to the newer ones. And but I don't think I'd ever watch them again. But Star Wars still pretty cool, though. A lot of people like it. You should build a 212 and a Chinese quad. We thought about doing, we have a Chinese quad, a bigger 250 quad outside. We call them 4-wheelers down here in the South. But I wanted to put a 420 or like that 440 on it and thought that'd be pretty cool. But the Chinese quads are just so badly built. They're one of the worst frames I've ever seen. We have one back in the day. If you build it, they will come. Justin, I want to start testing. I built a new engine plate for my dyno, and yeah.
How do you know where you are? Is it frozen?
No, I paused this.
Oh.
This red bear isn't. Whoa! Screen's timed out.
Just want to say we have to submit our order in the morning.
Oh yeah, we have our 10-year anniversary shirts. If you can see that, let's see. It's like a play off a NASCAR logo, and it says 10-year.
10th anniversary.
10th anniversary. But these are after tomorrow. You can't order these shirts. We're just doing it. And the reason why it's such a short run is because we have to get them made and bring them to the meetup. So, and it takes about 2 weeks to get everything in and made.
You can choose pickup and get.
Yeah. So if you order one, it ends tomorrow. The pre-sale. You can go on rbgcarts.com, look for just the 10-year anniversary shirt. That's what we're talking about. So you can get it shipped, but it won't ship for a couple weeks. Or if you're going to be at the meetup, you can buy it before the end of the day tomorrow. And you can pick it up at the meetup, and it saves like $5. What? Yeah, all the information's on the website on the listing for the shirt. But we'd appreciate it if people got that shirt. It's gonna be pretty cool. We're not gonna do any more, of course. Okay, I think that's Angel Pate, Sir Angel. I appreciate your kind words. It's always nice seeing appreciation. So yeah, we're definitely Justin. I was saying, Justin, we're definitely going to do the big block. I ran a big block on my dyno, and the engine mount that they had on it was so weak. It was like vibrating like crazy, and it was kicking a chain. It sounded awful. So I built a new engine plate, but now the sides of the dyno, I'd have to show it in a video. It's hard to explain. They used angle iron, 1/4 inch thick angle iron, which you think would be strong enough, but it's not when you're putting that much power into a frame. Then they use square tubing on the bottom side of it. I don't understand why they didn't build the whole thing out of the box tubing, and it would have been super strong and handled that kind of power. But the only thing is I'm worried about I may have to get a second flywheel, and I had my dyno set up when we ordered it to run another flywheel, because I knew the bigger engines, you need more mass to spin. So that's what we just got to see. Is this one single flywheel going to be enough weight for the big block? If it's not, we got to buy an additional. It's like $3,000 for the flywheel and the frame and stuff. So we'll have to see what happens. But I really want to run them. That was the whole point of the dyno. Are Subaru engines any good? The small ones. I don't like them. They're overhead cam from what I remember. And I think they're a cam belt. They could be a chain, but I don't think a lot of parts are out there for them. I think they make a billet rod and stuff, but I wouldn't mess with them. You're going into unknown territory there. You're going to spend a lot of money trying to figure it out when you can use something like a Predator or Briggs and know that there's support. Okay, do you know where I can find a standalone wiring harness for a fuel injection 883 Harley motor? I installed one in a XP 1000 Razor. No, but I could probably... Dave would be a good person. He's messed with a lot of Harley stuff, so he most likely would know where you get that, but he's not here. So maybe email me, and I can talk to Dave when we're at the meetup and ask him if I remember. Don't hold me to it. Luke says, hey, Redbeard, I have always been a huge fan. Thanks for all your videos, and I love your testimony. I appreciate it, Luke. Again, I appreciate the kind words. Matt says, Polaris Magnum with a V-twin. I would love to do that build. Magnum, I guess, a 4-wheeler ATV. Pretty sure it is. Yeah, I've always wanted to do something like that, either a V-twin or a big block. I want to do a big block in this 250 frame because it's more like a 350 Warrior size-ish frame. And so we'll have to see what we can do once we get caught up on these builds. I'm not one to quit on these builds until they're all painted, because I know you guys want to see them painted. Okay, I have a mower engine that I ported and polished, and it doesn't run well. What do I need to do? What do I do now? Because I also put 26-pound springs, 26-valve can, and I need help. I don't know, unless you don't have a good carb. I mean, didn't set the valve lash or get it in time. There's a lot. It's very hard to answer questions like this, just because there's so many variables it can be. We're wanting to do another subscriber engine fix like we did before. We just got to find the right engine that would be a great fit for that. We're wanting to keep that going. And we had one on the line, and I don't know what happened with it. The guy never sent it, so I don't know. Oh yeah, he ended up figuring out what was wrong with it before he sent it. Are you still planning on making the Gravy Bones cart kit? Yes. So when we get back from the meetup, another task at hand is to build a new Gravy Bones frame, because the one was V1. I'm going to change a few little things, because I want Gravy Bones, for one, to fit all the way from a 5'5" person all the way up to a 6'8" person. You know, that was the whole goal of it, to fit a wide range of people. And it does. I didn't put seat sliders on mine. So V2 will have seat sliders. That's just a little upgrade. But what I want to change about it is the steering situation, because it's fine where it's at actually, but I need to build these covers, these sheet metal covers that your back of your legs lay against, so it's not on the rack boots. And then we need to add about 6 inches to the rear. That's what she said. And add 6 inches to the rear of the frame so we can fit a V twin, and then I have to go. It's a lot of work, is why, and I want it to be a perfect chassis. You know what I'm saying? Like it. That's my problem. I want stuff to be too perfect. And Becca always says, "Remember, only Jesus was perfect." And I'm like, I know. I want to be like Jesus. But any Hoosies, then I'm supposed to take it up to EC, and they're going to draw up a CAD, and we're going to make weld together kits. Everything's going to be notched, bent. You just basically put it together and weld it. Then we're going to make drivetrain kits, powertrain kits, and then we're making a full suspension kit for it. So even if you set it up with no suspension, you just got to do a few cutting and add my dual A-arm front suspension and dual trailing arm rear suspension and make it like the ultimate little cross cart. We're going to tweak the frame a little bit and make it to where it's like a bigger version of a dingo. It's going to look like Gravy Bones, but it's going to have an optional roll cage kit that you can buy that we highly recommend. Then you can have the ultimate tiny cross cart with a V-twin. It's going to be freaking wild. We're have fully adjustable front and rear suspension for what tire sizes you need, because that was another thing. I set it up with those 19s in the front, 22s in the back. A lot of people may not be able to afford that or like that look, so we're building these brackets for the axle on the rear, so you can adjust the height of the axle. It's going to have a bunch of different adjustments in height depending on the wheels and tires package you get, and also the spindles will be adjustable for the non-suspension version, and you can also adjust caster on it as well as camber, and you can set this thing up however you want. And then when you get it set up, you can trim the excess off, because these bulkheads are going to be a little big, but they're made so you get it the way you like it, and then trim the excess off or leave it if you want to leave it adjustable. So yes, that is coming. We're going to do a full video series on starting a go-kart company. Like every single thing that we go through, you're going to see, like from insurance and all this stuff, because we're making a weld-together kit, because then we don't have any liability, which is the dangerous thing with go-karts. That's what took Yerf Dog down, Baja Minibikes, was them getting sued. Although they was running a Chinese, really poorly ran company back then. And but still, you worry about stuff like that. So yes, Gravy Bone kits are going to be put into effect right after the meetup, and full video series on it. And like I said, a lot of people's been wanting mini bike content. We got some crazy mini bike builds we're going to do. We're finally going to build our off-road mini bike frame that's going to sell right alongside the Gravy Bones frame. And then we're going to build a drag bike as well that's going to be sold alongside. So we're going to have drag bike and off-road bike. We're probably going to come out with a cruiser that's non-suspension, just for people that like to ride in pits and stuff, and then Gravy Bones, and then we're going to do the suspension kits for buggies. We're putting all this in effect because I really want Lonie to work here full-time by the end of the year. That's my goal, because Lonie's about to have to go get a job because they're finishing a house and there's no like foreseeable work. Like I give them a few days a week, but that's all the work I can do at this point. Just we're not that we don't have that much extra work for them. But if we was making these kits and fulfilling, you know, orders and stuff more, then that would give Lonie a job. And I would love for Lonie not to go to some factory or something, you know, because I know how bad I hated those jobs. And if I could do something like that for Lonie, that'd be amazing. So we'll have to see where this takes us. It's going to be a lot of work on my end, but I want to bring you guys some awesome products, and I want them to be the best mini bikes that we possibly can produce. And you know, we got some engine kits coming out. We got some pretty cool stuff in the works. We got our own cam coming out. That's going to be sick. So hope you guys are looking forward to all this stuff. All right, I'm getting a little behind. What's the best tools to help clearance things? I'm assuming, Gabriel, you're talking about in an engine. For testing clearance, I use feeler gauges mainly, but I don't know exactly what you're talking about, so maybe shoot another question and break it down a little bit. George said, I'm a big fan. What can I do to my stock Coleman to add more power and get up them hills? 6.0 gearing ratio. So put a 60 on the back, 10 tooth on the front. If it's still got the jack shaft little clutch set up, and even with the CVT, that's like the perfect setup. That alone makes a huge difference. And then of course, the only thing that's going to get you more torque is cam is going to be the biggest change in torque. Do like a 265 cam. I really like the Tennessee Thunderstick from EC. It's a really good cam. Any 265 cam is going to be awesome though. And then the gearing's the first thing you need to look at. If your gearing's not 6-to-1 or a little bit more, then definitely change it. So that would help out a lot. Okay. Someone's done a mini skid from a Rado 420 to a Duramax 500. Do you know where I could get a flywheel for it? No, no one makes it for the 500. That's why we've never done nothing with the 500. No one makes any parts, and no one wants to make parts because Duramax is known to change their engines. They hunt for the best price on manufacturing. So sometimes what that means is they'll get it made from a different factory and they may change pieces about the engine. Vegas Karts back in the day used to use Duramax 440s on their golf cart kits, but Duramax would change stuff, and it was like every year they changed their engines like twice. And when we was doing videos for them, that was an issue because here we would make this video on these parts fits a 440, and then they changed their engine. So we never could make kits for them like stage 1 and 2 and 3 kits. Stage 1 would all be the same, but when you get on, we don't know if it, I can't just constantly check and worry about what version engine do you have. There's no way to tell either. It's not like they have really good records on the engine. So unfortunately, I don't think no one's ever going to support any Duramax engine, not even the 999. That's why we've never done anything, because no one trusts that's going to be on the market. Because to build a billet flywheel, it costs like 10 grand in tooling. So they have to know they're going to sell 10 grand worth of flywheels or rods or whatever the billet part is. And that's a lot of work to not know if this engine's even going to be available in a year. So again, that's why we don't mess with Duramaxes anymore. It was just the headache of constantly changing. And that's why we use stuff like EC's engines, Harbor Freight's engines. They stay the same, especially EC, because they're getting them, they're making these engines, designing them and having them built, especially for this hobby. Okay. Got a 212, but can't get the carburetor to work right. Classic problem. Yeah, I really can't answer that. Just check the jets, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Engine build dyno contest would be cool. We did think about doing that, like getting, let's say, 10 engines and doing a dyno contest. Our dyno is mobile. We could take our dyno anywheres, as long as we got, run a little battery box to it. We could run it. We might do a little pop-up dyno competition. That'd be sick to do somewheres. Okay, so I'll check the clearance for clearance. You also said it's a aggressive cam, trying to build it into a racing engine, and I would go crazy if you built my engine for me. Danny, when we get back, that's a possibility. We could possibly get your engine in and do a subscriber build on it. Just email me in a couple weeks. Don't email me now because I'm not going to see it. Oh yeah, we got a donation. Appreciate it, Jeff. So he's coming in to get the buggy, so that's what he's commenting about. All right, let's see. I appreciate the donation though. Is a Predator V-Twin Stage 4? Is there a Predator V-Twin Stage 4 kit? So the whole thing with kits is, a kit is what you want a kit to be. So like one manufacturer, one dealer, stage 1 or 2 may be different than what EC would call a stage 1 or 2. So, but we all kind of know what you're talking about in this hobby with stage 4. Stage 4 to me, what I consider, which is different than what everybody else considers. A stage 4, in my opinion, would be like ported and milled heads, of course, cam rod, flywheel, and the valve train gone through. It's more of it's not a beginner, like a stage 2 and 3, what they sell them as. Those are pretty much beginner engine kits. You don't have to have these crazy skills to build it. When you start going 4 or higher, that's when you start having to check piston to valve clearance and things like that. So no, I don't think they sell kits at all. As far as I know, you just have to piece it together. So do a good cam, like I think they got a 507 cam for that flywheel rod. Get Beckwith Performance, the mill and port your heads. He does awesome work, and he'll O-ring it as well. And that's the kind of stuff that would make it a stage 4. So no, you'd have to piece it together. Have you ever rebuilt an old Wisconsin engine? I have a couple of them that are going into mini dozers. I have not. Haven't even seen one in person, to be honest. Okay. Oh, I was a little behind here. So I'm thinking about putting a GY6 on a BT200X. Is that a good idea? Add any tips? I think it'd be pretty cool to run one. The GY6s are good, especially on a mini bike. That'd be a really good engine. The go karts are decent as long as you keep um, the gearing ratio and tire size right. But on a mini bike, I'd say it'd be a pretty good ripper. The only thing is, I mean, yeah, you could do a chain drive. It's going to be a long setup is the only issue. But it'd be pretty sweet, I would think. Vlog with Max says, big fan. Ran across your page and learned how to work on small engines and weld. Such an inspiration, brother. He said sucking inspiration, but he meant such. I hope he did anyways. But I appreciate it. That's what, when we got into this, I've told this story 1,000 times, but the whole reason I started this YouTube channel was because I went to look for information, and the only people making videos was Kart Fab back in the day, and all he was doing was really his go-kart like kits, the plans. You could buy the plans, and he showed you how to build his plans. It was a yard cart, and then Cars and Cameras, and of course Cars and Cameras never has been like a detailed how-to channel. They're just like an entertainment. So I actually found their videos by getting a go-kart and trying to put a 30 series CVT kit on, like an Amazon 30 series kit. Could not figure out how to put this freaking thing on. Like, I mean, I could figure it out, but there's a lot of washers, and it's like, where does this washer go? Where's this? I didn't know. So I learned how to do it and made a lot of wrong videos. But I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do videos on how, like, as I learn, I'm going to show what I've learned in this. And that's how it all started. And a while back, I saw a comment. Someone was getting mad that I can't remember. We have sponsored ads all the time. That's how you run this business. You can't do it without sponsors. It's impossible. And if you're doing it without sponsors, you're not getting far. And someone said, bro only cares about the money or something like that. And I'm like, well, yeah, I went after this as a job, not a hobby. This was meant to be a job from the day I started this channel. And so I had to find out how to make money to do this for a living. That's exactly what I did. So of course we're going to have sponsors. I don't see why it's a big deal. I watch YouTubers all the time like Cleese McFarlane and Rob Dom, I think it is. And a bunch of channels like this, they have ads in every single videos because that's paying. At least like what we try to do is use, not that they're not doing this, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying we try to make it like we use Small Engine Warehouse. That's because Small Engine Warehouse has some sick engines. They have engine kits to swap over old equipment to the new style engines. And then we have EC Carburetors, which I think is one of the best performance companies we've ever got to work with. And we work with NR Racing, ARC. I just think the stuff EC does to make this hobby better and the price points they sell stuff for compared to the competitors is just awesome. And they're great people. And it's just like working with a family member. And that's why we try to keep our ads and stuff. And Blaster, I use Blaster every single day in my shop. I legit use Blaster and used it before they was sponsor of the channel. So anyways, don't know why I went on that rant. It was kind of odd, but we try to keep it relevant, and not push stuff that's like, we've had video games, the stupid apps and stuff come on and be like, hey, we'll pay for a video. We won't do it because I don't sit there and play games on my phone. So, and my channel's not a gaming channel, so I'm not going to push that to my followers, But I appreciate the kind words and the support that everybody's given us. It's been 10 years since so I haven't been on YouTube, I don't think, for 10 years. I can't remember, I always forget. But I've had RBG carts like Red Beer's Garage for 10 years and YouTube maybe 8 years or something. But this is our 10-year anniversary of me doing this. So yeah, thanks Luch Mob. I appreciate it. EC are really good engine builders. It's the best engine for my mower. I put it on the Greenfield ride on. I don't know what the last part meant, but I love, like I said, I love EC's parts and love people that work there. They're great people. So anyways, I wish you would sell independent rear suspension. I've got it all worked out. I just want to really test it before I put something for sale, because I don't want to put something up for sale. Like, I know my kits work, but I want to make sure they're right, because I don't want to, like, let's say I sell 20 kits and then somebody, or sell 20 kits and then I come out with V2 that's way better. I know how that sucks when I've spent, because they're not going to be cheap. My spindles are going to be about well, just the spindles alone will be like $500 for 2 spindles. They're expensive. They're a lot of work to build them and stuff, and a lot of time goes into it. So like an IRS kit's going to be a couple grand. I mean, I'm going to be cheaper than anything else that's out there, but still expensive. So I want to make sure it's the best it possibly can be before I put it up for sale. So that's what's taking so long. And, you know, we got to put regular videos out. Okay. I'll have to skip a few here. So good evening, kind sir. Hope you're having a great day. I don't mind them brother haters just want to keep hating. Yes, they do. It don't matter how good you do something. People like to hate on you. But I will say this, we've been it's been very good over my career about the amount of hate. I would say it's 99% positive across everything. What sucks is when a company or something uses your video as an ad, like there's one going on Facebook. I'm sure everybody's freaking seen it. And I read the comments, and most of them are negative about their product, which I like their product and I use it every single day. And even if I wasn't working with them, I'd be using their product. But it's like I don't even read the comments anymore. Like I do on my videos some, but like, yeah, I think I'm putting a video out normally on Monday that's coming out on Tuesday. Like I'm not ahead by any means. It's just me and Miss Redbeard, and then Lonie a couple days a week sometimes, you know. So I don't hire an editor or anything. I'd love to, but I don't even know where to begin with that, honestly, because I know what the video is going to look like before I even film it. So it's hard to convey that to somebody. So sorry, I was reading some comments. But yeah, Amsoil seems to be an awful good sponsor of your channel. So it's not Amsoil, it's I wish it was Amsoil, but no, it's Clovis Lubricants, which is a dealer of Amsoil. So that's why we put his links. He actually reached out and wanted to sponsor the channel, and then with just like supplying us with Amsoil. And we've always, like, there's no dealers in our town. You can't just go buy a quart of Amsoil in our town. So I'd have to order it. So I never bought Amsoil. I've always heard that Amsoil was the best. And then he broke it down of why it's the best and showed me all this stuff. And basically we was like, yeah, we heard a lot about Amsoil. We'd love to try them. We tried them for a while. Then he sponsored us. We basically used them, and then he was like, would you use a dyno? I'd love to see the dyno content. So it's because of Clovis that we got our dyno. Like, we wouldn't have had that thing. The thing was like $10 or $12,000, very expensive. And it was awesome. That was a huge sponsor for us, for sure. Jeff is saying he saw someone copying our content and reposting it. Can you make them stop? I wish I could. There's a guy on Facebook and TikTok, I believe. We've gotten some taken down on TikTok. YouTube's very good about it, but the problem is this guy's taking my YouTube videos and posting them, like cutting them up into 10 parts, speeding up so my voice is like, you know, sped up. And basically he's posting like 30 to 40 videos a day on his Facebook. We have reported it, but the problem is I don't post videos to Facebook other than shorts and stuff. So the issue is they're not seeing it and flagging it as copied content because it's not necessarily on Facebook. So if anybody sees any of our content that isn't us and they're not tagging us in it, you know, saying this is Redbeard's Garage content or whatever, make sure to report them. That's all we can do at this point. It sucks, but I mean, it frustrates the crap out of me seeing that guy's content, because he is, like I said, 30 to 40 videos, and not only my content, he's done other people. So yeah. Okay, someone's asking about the 459. No one's going to make parts for it. That was another engine. We talked about the Duramax 500, the 999. No one's making parts for them, and I don't see them making parts anytime soon. No one's going to support the engines, and the 459 is another one because it does not have crank bearings like all the other small engines. They did pressurized oil on the crank, but not on the rod. It was like a very dumb thing. I don't know why the manufacturer chose to do that. No one wants to support them because that actually makes the block weaker than a standard 420 block. There's nothing really special about a 459. Like, it has a good head on it and stuff, but if you really want to make power, non-Hemi heads is where you're going to make the most power over a Hemi head, because you can get a lot more compression, all this stuff, and a lot more lift out of your cams without getting valve to piston clearance. So really, I mean, if you have one, run it until she blows, but other than that, no one's going to support them, so we can't do any videos on them. What happened to the 650 Honda engine go-kart from 4 years ago? I have no clue. I don't even know what that one is. I'd have to look back. I don't even know what that... I mean, it's gone now, I can tell you that. I would think, anyways. I don't even know what that would have been. We got someone from Moscow in here. Nick, I think it is, N-I-K. I appreciate you watching. That's pretty crazy. What time is it in Moscow right now? Is it not middle of the night or first thing in the morning? Something like that. Someone said they just got a Trailmaster 200X. I want to build it out. What engine do you recommend? I'm telling you guys, when they're in stock, the 240 RS Wildcat is the best, hands down. Like, do the math. It's the best dollar per horsepower you can get. That engine's a stout son of a gun right out of the box. That's what I would go with. If you can't afford that, go with 223. It is honestly one of the best. Like I said, do the math on the horsepower you're getting, how much you'd have to spend to match that. Watch our dyno videos where we did stuff on them, and you'll see it's the best setup out there. And that's what EC went after, to build the best small block engine that you can buy out of the box. T-Dog said, RBG, I just built a 212 with a billet flywheel, 26-pound valve springs, billet connecting rod, VM22 carb, and a nice exhaust, and I can't get to start. Any idea? Those VM22 carbs are horrible if they're the Amazon or some other dealers' carbs. They're garbage. Ask Braxton back when he was on the channel. I kicked many of them off the bike into the woods. I hated those carbs. I would mess with like, of course, always make sure the valve lash is set correct and not set on the compression release. Make sure it's in time, and then make sure you're getting spark, of course. Then obviously you're getting air. Make sure you have compression, which you can pull it over and kind of feel the compression. And then if you have all that, then you know it's a fueling issue. Try some starting fluid, see if it'll fire up. If it's on a mini bike or something, make sure to get the back tire off the ground when you're trying that, because we're going to launch off on you. But and if you can get it started on starting fluid, you know it's a fuel related problem. Most likely it's that VM22. They're very horrible carbs. So that's where I would start with. Hayden Vance is in here. He's going to be at the meetup. Friggin' done. He's a little hot body. But Build on a Budget said we watch every video and have used several of your videos to help us build our own cart. Well, I appreciate it, man. I feel like I've seen that channel before. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Build on a Budget. There we go. Let's see if I follow them. Built on a Budget. I do not. Well, pause it. I just subscribed to you. So we'll check it out later. I appreciate it, though. That's what we made our videos for. That's what our whole channel was about. Oh, Nick said, I hope I said your name right, 5:08 in Russia right now, in Moscow. So, yeah, 5:08 in the morning, I'm assuming, right? No, it might be 5:08 in the day. Let's look it up. Let's look it up for no reason. Yeah, 5 in the morning. That's what I was thinking. Okay. All right, back to answering some questions. No Brakes Garage said, I'd like to thank you for teaching me a lot about small engines. I appreciate you watching the channel. It really, let's see, No Brakes Garage. See if I can find them. Bam, found them. 10 subscribers, you just got one. Bam. Okay. That's the whole point, of course, of our videos, was because it was so frustrating when I built our first go-kart to find any answers. And then we was like, okay, we'll just make our own videos. And that's, again, how it started. Is it worth upgrading the cam in a Wildcat 240? Depending on what you do, but yeah. I'm sure you could. I mean, it has a 265 cam, I believe, but I mean, if you're mini biking, off-roading and stuff, I'd probably keep the stock cam. If it, would have to look back. Yeah, I think we deal with thousands of engines to remember what. But if it's 265, that's a really good all-around cam. It's hard to beat it. Um, Build on a Budget said they're playing with the Duramax 440 and thinking of a supercharging possible. We just supercharged a 420 after the meetup. That video will go live because we got to finish a few little odds and ends, and we're going to put that stage 420, put a supercharger on it, and see what we can do with it. So stay tuned for that. We are going to do some dyno and engines for people. It'll be like basically we'll have to sell like 10 dynos on our website, and when they sell out, that'll give us time to dyno those engines so we don't get overdone. So we will be putting that on. We just got to get back from this meetup. That's the crazy time of our lives right now. So what size Heim joints are you using on the lower spindles on Lonie's current build? 3/4, and then we use the 3/8 high misalignment spacer. So it basically knocks a 3/4 inch Heim joint down to a 3/8, gives you a ton of angle out of it. And we had those custom made through QS Components. They actually have our Heim joint kits on their website as RBG A-arm kit. So you can pick like what size tube you're using, everything. You can buy the entire kit that we use, the exact kit on the front. You can save money and buy the economy ones, or you can buy the really nice chrome ollie ones that we use. The economy ones are great. The chrome ollie ones are just way better. Like they're just going to last longer. They're going to perform the same at first, but over the years they're going to, they're going to last. Build on a Budget, just freaking post it. People's going to hate you or love you no matter what you do. So I always say if you're wanting to do this, just do it. Still not a subscriber? Redbridge Garage, subscribe to you, man. So what cam would you recommend for an off-road build on a Predator 212? 265, like that Tennessee Thunderstick cam from EC is a great, you will like it for sure. And EC's cam comes with valve springs, so you don't have to worry about it. They come already in the package. That's what I love about EC. They're like, valve springs are the cheapest thing that we could sell, so why not give them with a cam? And that's, again, why I love EC carburetors. How about some videos on Predators on setting center line on the cam timing? We have some more in-depth videos coming, like CC in your head and all that stuff, valve to piston clearance. Again, I hate saying this 1,000 times, but we got to get back from the meetup. Like, it's all meetup stuff, but that's what we're focusing on. A lot of engine build videos and a lot of mini bike content, and then like every month you'll get one buggy video. So that's what our plan is. Do you plan on attending the GPS 180 this year? We will never be back at those events again. We don't work with them anymore, so we won't be at any of the GPS stuff anymore. But we're going to have some of our own events in the near future, and probably in Nashville, Tennessee. And we're going to do a mini bike race, an off-road race, and maybe some asphalt racing. And again, setting all that up. It's a lot of stuff, one person, you know what I mean? So, but no, we won't be at any of those events ever again. So how many horses is the Wildcat 240 stock? I cannot remember. You'd have to go back and look at our dyno video. We did it stock. Seriously, we dyno so many I can't keep up with them. Someone said they got a Predator 459 and a 85 club car. They're good engines if you leave them stock. It's just after that you really can't do much. So comment 780 with 790 driven. You mentioned use golf cart belt. Correct, it's a short belt. Driven is very close. You just have to measure. So if you can get in touch with comment, we're wanting to put the information out there on how to. I'm going to work on that very soon. Basically, you have to measure from bolt to bolt on your front and rear pulley, and then give them the driven pulley size, and then it'll tell you what the belt is. So basically, I always add like a 1/2 inch to whatever the math says, because the math, like if you ask comment, they'll say this size belt, like let's say a 32-inch belt, it's going to be real tight and you might creep at idle. So I always go a 1/2 inch. I'd rather my belt be a little loose than too tight. Max we just don't work with them anymore. We don't want to get in details and stuff. It's just not professional, because every story has two sides to it. And whether I think I'm right or whatever the case is, it's still not fair to talk about a company or people, you know what I mean? Like without hearing their side. And it's just, I don't want any drama. It's like, we just don't work with them anymore. So, and the only reason I normally don't even get that deep into it, but it's just we've had every live stream we get the question asked a lot, but that's the best. I don't want to run someone's name through the mud. It's just, I mean, it's not what I should do. It's not professional, and yeah, we'll just leave it at that. We're not going to ever work with them ever again. But JNC says Tilson 225 block, 72 millimeter piston, 1-to-1 billet roller rockers, 58 millimeter crank, billet flywheel, billet rod, 356 cam. It's got 28.5 and 25 valves, ported head. What size PWK carb would you use? You would flow a 28 real nice on that one. So you have a 28.5 intake valve, and the rule of thumb is go 2 millimeters smaller than your intake, because you're never going to flow 28 millimeters. You know what I mean? Like around, you got to think the valve stem takes up volume in your port. So that's what I would say is the best thing. 28 would be great on that engine. Now, if you had like a 26, valve, you have a lot of lift. So you could utilize a 28 millimeter carb. So that's what I go with. And if you go check out EC's 28, their PWK 28s, they actually started selling a laser cut bracket that bolts, because the 28 is a slip fit carb. It doesn't bolt to the intake manifold. It uses a boot. So the bad thing about that is on like off-road mini bikes or even drag bikes, they can bounce off. We've lost a carb before. So basically, if you buy their 28 mil, they have a bracket that bolts to their intake and bolts to their carb. And I'm telling you, EC has some of the best tuned carbs on the market. So I would definitely check that out. But yes, 28. Long story short, 28. Okay. What's too much horsepower for my 12-year-old brother's make a moto bike? I'm swapping the engine. 12-year-old, probably start him stock, because the bike's different than a go-kart, of course, whiskey throttle and whatnot. But yeah, so I would start with a stock 212 and just let him grow into it. Like when he gets bored and is, really mastered it, then I would bump him up, maybe a no governor and a billet rod and flywheel and a good carb upgrade would be a big jump. And then, just don't throw him a bunch of power at one time. Okay. Someone's saying, can I send my Predator V-twin all the parts to upgrade and supercharge? I'm building a 32 Roadster. Possibly it would be after the meetup. It's like the answer of the day is after the meetup, baby. But you'd have to email me, but don't email me right now. Email me in 2 weeks. That's the best thing to say, because I'm going to lose the email, So write it on your calendar. Email me. Our email's in every one of our videos. And please, people, only email me if it's like, if you're serious and really needing, because we get so many emails. I don't want to just like ignore people. I don't mean to do that. We just get so many. How do you take off a billet flywheel? Same way. I mean, they sell a billet flywheel removal tool, ARC, and I think EC sells them. They're really, I mean, that's the best way to take them off. It doesn't damage anything. It pops right off. So, I don't know. I don't know this guy's name, but he said, I love my Performance Tilly 225. Did phenomenal in 2 different GPS 180 races. Sorry for the GPS question. Oh, it's no problem. We get it every live stream. It's just I wanted to break it down on a little deeper level of why I'm not going to talk about it, and it's just not worth it at the end of the day. And just want a morale of it. It's already beefed up. I don't know where to start upgrading. Honestly, that was the whole point of our Road to Horsepower series, was to show you guys the best place to start. Like, it'll show you what happened. How's it going, Tim? I want to see you build a V-twin mini bike on 27-inch tires. It's coming. We got the V-twin sitting in there and everything. Okay. So what's the best mods for the MB165? I've already got 212 and torque converter. MB1, I don't even know what that bike is, but what's an MB165? I think that's a no. MB165. I don't know what an MB165 is. Oh, it's like a Baja. If you're a heavy guy, putting spacer in the forks and thicker fork oil helps out the suspension. Even if you're not super heavy, probably change out the fork oil for some like Amsoil fork oil. Like you can buy a couple different thicknesses. The thicker it is, the slower it rebounds. And then you can put a 1-inch spacer in there and preload the spring. We've done a video on it before, and it makes a world of a difference. But after that, it's just performance and I know that has no rear swing arm, and I don't know if anybody makes one for it, but just getting the right amount of power. Jeff's asking how many people's RSVP'd. We don't have any like RSVP out there. We have no clue. It could be 20 people, it could be 100. We have no clue. We just always go. Basically, the meetup's going to be Thursday through Saturday. We don't do anything on Sundays. We just pack up and leave. We normally pack up at night on Saturdays, but we have normally people come in on Friday and some people come in on Saturday. Saturday's normally the biggest day because people are off work and they're just getting in late Friday and stuff. But and then we meet a lot of people out there that's not there for the meetup that's watched the channel. We always see people riding. It's like, oh, it's Redbeard, and we stop and talk to them and stuff. But it's going to be a good time. Whether there's 20 or 30 people, like I know there's 20 or 25 of my own people coming, you know, like friends and people's been on the channel and stuff like that. So it's going to be a fun time either way. Next fall, we're not going to do it at Turkey Bay. We're going to do it somewhere else and start playing with different places to see where the best turnout is for location. That's what's very hard about this. Turkey Bay is kind of in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it feels like it is anyways. So we're going to try to find something that works for everybody. So we have no clue. What's the best mods for... Oh, yeah, I already read that one. So, hey, I ordered some parts from the website and haven't gotten them yet. Freddie. Let's see what part you ordered there, guy. Everything has been shipped out, Freddie Bowie. Freddie. Yeah, that was on the 24th. You should have got those bad boys. Let's see. Let's track it. I know one thing is post office has been screwing some stuff up. Yeah, so his package was dropped off on the 26th, which was days ago. What was the 26th? Let's do some 26 would have been. I dropped that off 2 Saturdays ago. Not yesterday, but the day before. So a week ago. And it went from Sweetwater, Knoxville, Nashville, Clarksville. Where's it going to? We're going to get to the bottom of this right now. Oh, yeah. So it should be there. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be there tomorrow, I would think. So hopefully it comes tomorrow. That's a USPS issue right there. They've been having a lot of issues. I would call them, though, because, of course, we can't do anything about it. They would. But, yeah. Jeff, we normally don't take any firewood. What's his name? Scott, the Deuce Man, normally has firewood because we don't hang out like crazy late by the fire. We do. I mean, we'll hang out to like, I don't know, like 9 or something, maybe 10. And then me and Lonie go inside the camper and watch a movie or something just to wind down from the day. But so I don't think it would be necessary because, like I said, normally we don't even mess with firewood. We got so much other stuff to deal with. Cody, I appreciate your kind words. It is wild to me what God has done in our lives for sure. Oh, Justin said Big Block Clones has parts to make a 500cc big block. Let's see. Big Block Clones LLC. Let's see. performance kits. Let's see what they got. 212. I've actually heard of this company before. Where's the kits at? So 94 millimeter piston. That would be one. Yeah, the R500V is what they're calling it. And they have the Stro. Nope, that's for small blocks. Sorry, I'm getting off on a little tangent here. But they look like, I mean, they're an ARC dealer. They look like they got some good parts. We may do a 500cc build, do a big Hoss engine, do a like the Wildcat 460 and build it into a 500. That'd be pretty sick. We may just do that. I'll leave that tab open for laters. So okay. So someone said, Justin said, move the meetup southwest a little is my vote. Heard. When what we'll do is put out a like a poll to see where people that would actually want to come to our meetups are located and try to do it that way for our fall meetup. See what we can do. But oh, Freddie said he picked up a Trail Pro trying to get it done for the meetup. Well, your part should be here tomorrow, should be there tomorrow. And I mean, it just got caught up in Nashville, I think it said, or Clarksville. Where is it caught up at? Somewhere like that. But let me know if you can't. I mean, surely they'll come tomorrow. We have another customer right now that bought some stuff and it's stuck the same way somewheres, and it makes no sense. Like it's in a state that don't even make sense. It should be in. But all right, so Becca's got late supper ready, and I got a guy, Mr. Schmidt, coming in the morning at 8, so I gotta be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Wolfman, we'll do one in Texas eventually. We like Texas. It's a good place. So we'll try to do that. So we appreciate everybody coming and spending time with us. We hope to see a lot of you guys at the meetup 2 weekends from now, basically. So we got 2 weeks till the meetup. And for our 10-year anniversary, we already have some engines to give away. We have some Icon tools. We have some Pittsburgh steel tools. We have some light bars. We got like shirts and stuff to give away. What else? We got a big pile of stuff we've been stacking up. We got some real cool Icon tools, some of the new stuff. And we're going to try to get EC to throw in some performance parts to give away. We're going to try to get Small Engine Warehouse to do a gift card for Small Engine Warehouse. We're going to have a lot of blaster kits. Like we're going to give people like 5 different products, like a care package of blaster. And yeah, we got a lot of stuff we're trying to give away. And of course, when you're at the meetup, you can buy more raffle tickets if you want a greater chance to win, because everybody gets one for being there, one per trip, basically. So if you want to test your luck, everybody that normally wins, like 90% of the time, is the ones that bought multiple raffle tickets. And the reason we do that is to help. Like we spend thousands of dollars on this meetup. It don't seem like it would cost that much, but it does. It's a lot of money. And it just helps us to recoup and have more meetups if we sell raffle tickets for more giveaways, and just helps out the stuff. But Freddie, it's a good question. He said if Turkey Bay gets canceled for some reason, where we're going to go. And he's saying Lake Murray State Park. Haven't heard of that place. I'll put it in my tabs. Lake Murray State Park. All right, we got to pull it up. So, Wildcat maybe, possibly. Wildcat's really fun, and it's local. It's like 2.5 hours for me. Might not be great for other people, but it's a really, really cool. It's the second best one we've been to. Turkey Bay is by far the best. But Wildcat's like, if Turkey Bay's a 10, Wildcat's a 9. So maybe it'd be hard to do something last minute. That'd be rough. But we appreciate everybody viewing and supporting us all these years. We really appreciate it more than you'll ever know. I gotta shower and eat and get ready for this week because we got a busy, crazy week. So thank you guys for supporting and watching us, and we really hope to see you at our 10-year meetup. And we love each and every one of you guys. So have a good night, great week, and God bless.